It was November 2022 when I first became aware of the term hospice care wives. When I first heard the original Candace Kelly start saying, do not become a nurse in a purse. And from that point on, I have been talking about it, making other women aware of it, because these older men, and sometimes not even that old of men, are coming after women because they are simply looking for a nurse in a purse or a hospice care wife. Now, this is not about couples who have grown old together. This is about a man who has spent the good portion of his life playing the field, not pouring into his relationships, not settling down, not treating women well, not forming relationships with their children. And then all of a sudden, they start feeling these old age ailments. And it's like, oh, snap, I need to settle down with a woman that can help take care of me. I haven't talked about this in a while because we were hitting it pretty hard when I first came onto the scene. So we need to talk about the love bombing that they do. Because if you are to hold them out for long enough, you will start to see how their bodies are breaking down. You will eventually see them taking some of these pills. You will eventually see some of the manifestation of some of these ailments coming out. So that is the reason why we need to talk about love bombing. We need to talk about future faking, like these men who, and the reason why I say we need to talk about the men that's not even like 50, 60 years old. Some of these people in their 30s and 40s are breaking down because their diets have been terrible. They've been drinking. They haven't gotten married. They are just typically living off of fast food. So they are breaking down quicker. They got these postpartum bellies. They are curvaceous. They're thicker than a snicker. They got these breastfeeding boobs and they are not breastfeeding. So you know that they are getting these old age diseases early. So you have got to be aware of these men that are simply finally in their 30s, 40s, 50s looking to sweep you off your feet quickly, trying to get you down the aisle quickly so that they can have their nurse in a purse. I was tagged in this video where this woman, she is divorced. She's talking about the fact that she is noticing the hospice wife phenomenon, how men are not looking to date her. They just need a woman. And what I am happy about is that I'm seeing so many women in different walks of life bringing attention to this, bringing this to the forefront and telling the other women. I'm seeing people say hospice wife on Reddit. I'm seeing it across different social media platforms. Women are telling the story because they are seeing these men that are finally like, marriage, marriage, marriage. Like before, when were men ever this marriage minded? Marriage has always been like joked about as being um, women being a ball in a chain. But now they're in their 40s and 50s. They haven't poured into their relationships with their children. They know that they're breaking down and they have no skills as far as cooking or whatnot. And this woman talks about like they know that their kids aren't coming because they haven't poured into those relationships. And they are literally going to end up in the old man mojo dojo casa house with other men who haven't poured into their relationships, haven't cultivated those bonds with their children. So I don't know if you guys have seen this phenomenon. It was kind of funny the other day. My mother actually told me that my old pastor, I'm no longer in the church, he's like in his 80s and his wife passed a few years back. And he's been dating this woman in her 60s. And he's finally about to retire from the church. And he's getting married to this woman that's in her 60s. I'm like, Mom, how old did you say he was again? She's like, he's 85. And I'm like, how old did you say this woman is? She said she's 60, she's 65. I said, Mom, you're in your 60s. Would you be dating a man that is 20 years older? She was like, heck no. Because she knows what comes along with dating a man that is in his 80s or that old, that he just literally needs that nurse. Anyways, I don't know what you guys have seen. Are you dating? Have you noticed this uptick in these men that are clamoring for a wife all of a sudden, let me know. Go ahead and chime in. You can
talk about hospice wives. So I am 45. I'm single. I have been divorced for 3 years now. Intend to stay that way, as Randy Travis would say, forever and ever. Amen. I did date somewhere in my second year post divorce and figured out that this was not going to be the move for me. But there have been, and again, this is not everyone, but there have been a plethora of men in the age range of 45 to 60-ish who have approached me and asked me out. And my response is always the same: I don't date. And by the way, if you do makeup, don't come for me, okay? We do what we do, okay? And I have gotten a lot of like pushback on the I don't date. And the main comments are things like, you're going to die alone. Well, duh. Everybody dies alone. Even if you're in a room full of people, you're the only one dying. Everybody dies alone. You're going to be alone the rest of your life. That's the point. And just all kinds of negative remarks when I say to them, I don't date. And what they don't understand is they're not looking for me. They don't care about me. What they're looking for is a hospice wife, because they have realized at their ripe old age that their kids aren't coming. Their kids aren't coming to take care of them. And now they really are all alone, and they're figuring out that they're all alone and they don't like it. And so they're desperately seeking a woman. And it doesn't matter who she is. I mean, this literally just played out.
Tell me your thoughts, but first, some of these thoughts from the ladies in the comment section. Miss Grey Goddess says they also want a therapist. The emotional dumping I've received from men in my age range is too much. Tara by Tia says men that age range approach me too at 33. I refuse to let an old man sap the rest of my youth. Dreams Speak Life says if I ever got married again, it would be for security, and it definitely would come with a prenup. Queen Steph says, I'm the hospice wife. I'm a caretaker, and that's all I am. I feel so stuck now. But the time I realized what was happening, it became so complicated. If I can figure a way out of this, never again. Litterbox Fairy says, if you decide to leave, don't look back and don't feel bad about it. You deserve to live your life just like everybody else. AJ says, they either want a nurse or a purse. Amanda says, too bad for them. I am neither. Frugal Mama says she's 58 and very happily single. I just bought myself power tools to be more self-sufficient. Beach Sue says, my dad became a widower at 86 and was looking for a hospice wife too. Angelina says, was he at least willing to leave the house and some property to whoever took on the job? Catherine said, my dad left my mom and is making it on his own so well. He asked me to be his emergency contact. He's paying for my flights to visit home, and all I got to do is take him home from a simple procedure. Okay, so he is self-sufficient, and that is good. So this is what some of the ladies are seeing in the comments. Like I said, I find this to be fascinating, that if you were to look at many of the pictures from across the board, they span the gambit in all varieties of women. Women are saying very similar things. So what are you saying? Jump in the comments, let me know. Like, comment, and share.